Hello everyone, CJ here, presenting you the Rogue class guide. Thieves, scoundrels, assassins or swashbucklers. The Rogue class is the epitome of cunning, skill and finesse. It's also a class that attracts certain type of players. If you want to be the character that relies on your grey matter to solve or create problems in your adventure, then you're definitely in the right place. Because I will be talking about the Rogue class after the intro. The Rogue class comes with proficiency in Thieves tools by default, but in Dungeons & Dragons, rogues are not necessarily thieves. Yes, they can make incredible thieves, but they can also excel in many other things that they choose to be good at. They can be stealthy, deceptive, or even knowledgeable, if you combine the class with the right background. They also have 3 archetypes they can choose from: Thief, Assassin, and Arcane Trickster, giving them a little more edge in their chosen specialization. Half of this class's strength lie on its non-combat features. Whether it's disarming traps, infiltration tasks, or rumor mongering, the rogue's expertise in such tasks is often indispensable. In D&D, not all problems need to be solved by combat. Half the battle, if not more, is won in the planning. If you are able to covertly achieve your objective, or bluff your way through your problems, then you don't even need to waste time wiping the blood off your dagger. When rogues find themselves in combat, they are able to deal damage like some of the best single strikers out there, fighters, barbarians, and so on. But due to their smaller hit die size and the lack of better armor proficiencies, they are more vulnerable than many frontline warriors. That's why the rogue has to fight smart, and they've got the class features to help them do so. Let's look at the level breakdown and see what they can do. The rogue's hit dice is 1d8, the average size. They won't die too easily, but let's not tempt fate. Without any modifier bonus or penalties, they start with 8 hit points and gain the average of 5 hit points per level. They are proficient in light armor only, so their armor class would be reliant on them having high dexterity modifier. They are also proficient in simple weapons, hand crossbows, long swords, rapiers, short swords, and thieves' tools. Don't worry about them not having access to bigger weapons, because their class features more than make up for it. They have saving throw proficiency in dexterity and intelligence, so they have better chance of resisting common damage dealing and mind wiping spells, effects, and traps. For example, Dragon's Breath Weapon, Lightning Bolt spell, and Feeble Mind spell. They also get proficiency in wisdom saving throws at later levels, but let's not worry about this now. Compared to other classes, rogues start with the highest number of skills, 4 skills, compared to the usual 2. Just as well, since they need to be multi-talented to survive. At level 1, they start with Sneak Attack, Expertise, and Thieves' Cant. Sneak Attack is their main damage dealing feature. It's triggered as they hit while having advantage on their attack roll or when they have an ally within 5 feet of their enemy. They also need to use finesse weapons like daggers and rapiers or ranged weapons like slings and crossbows. If all these conditions are fulfilled, they will deal an extra d6 of damage. As they level up, their sneak attack damage dice also increases, up to the maximum of 10d6 at level 19. Due to the wording, this feature can only happen once a turn, so it can't be triggered twice and deal a whopping 20d6 of damage. But get this, it can happen again on another character's turn. So for example, if a team member forces the enemy to move away with the Dissonant Whisper spell, the rogue can trigger Sneak Attack again if they fulfill all the conditions and land their opportunity attack. Expertise allows them to choose 2 skills they are already proficient in, or 1 skill and Thieves' Tools proficiency and double their proficiency bonus. For example, if the rogue choose to be an expert in Sleight of Hand and have plus 3 dexterity modifier, their total bonus in the skill would be 7 instead of 5. At higher level, this feature can be extremely powerful. Instead of having plus 6 proficiency modifier at level 17, the rogue get plus 12 on a skill that they are an expert in. They can literally steal somebody's nose without him realizing. Thieves can't let the rogue communicate in secret symbols and messages. Nobody but other thieves or characters who know the Thieves' Cant can understand its meaning. It is usually used to make connection with underground contacts. They can also hide messages in normal conversation, but it takes 4 times longer to communicate. At level 2, they get Cunning Action. Using their bonus action, they can dash, disengage, or hide. So if they want to, in their turn they can move, dash, and dash again, moving 3 times the distance. At level 3, rogues can select one from the following 3 archetypes: Thief, Assassin, and Arcane Trickster. For this class guide, I will choose the Thief. The Thief rogue get fast hands and second story work. fast hands add more function to the cunning action feature. They can also use their bonus action to make a sleight of hand check, use thief tools to disarm a trap or open lock, or take the use an object action. By the way, the use an object action only lets you use mundane objects such as ball bearings and healer's kit. You can't use magic items including healing potions with this feature because they are a separate category. Second story work lets the rogue climb without costing extra movement, and their running jump distance is extended by a number of feet equal to their dexterity modifier. At level 4, they get their first ability score improvement. Level 5, they get Uncanny Dodge, one of the many tricks up their sleeve to keep themselves alive. When an attacker they can see attack them, they can use their reaction to reduce the damage by half. This covers all weapons and spells that make attack rolls. It doesn't work on spells and effects that force the rogue to make saving throw, like Fireball. Since you can only use your reaction once a round, you should use this feature strategically. At level 6, the rogue get to choose 2 more skills or thief tool proficiency to be experts in. They won't get another expertise after this, so choose carefully. By the way, you also can't stack expertise to get triple proficiency. You can only apply it once. At level 7, they get Evasion. Whenever they are subjected to an area effect or spell, like Dragon Breath or Lightning Bolt, that forces them to make dexterity saving throw, they take no damage if they succeed and only half damage if they fail it. Another ability score improvement at level 8. At level 9, the Rogue Thief get another archetype feature, Supreme Sneak. They get advantage on stealth checks if they are moving at half speed or below. Level 10, third ability score improvement. Rogues have a total of 6 ability score improvement, one more than most other classes which have 5. Consider getting a feat to further customize your rogue. At level 11, they get the Reliable Talent feature. This works on ability checks that let you add your proficiency bonus. If you roll below 10 on your d20, you can treat it as 10 instead, and you can still add your skill bonus on top of it. Level 12, another ability score improvement. Level 13, the Thief archetype lets the rogue use magic device not intended for the character, ignoring race, class, and level requirement. For example, they can use Staff of the Woodlands, which is usually restricted to druids. They can also cast spells with it, but because the rogue class doesn't naturally come with a spellcasting ability, their spellcasting ability modifier is counted as 0, but they can still add their proficiency bonus. They can get the relevant spellcasting ability bonus if they belong to certain race with natural spellcasting ability like High Elves or have taken the Magic Initiate feat. The rules for thieves to use spell scrolls is not clearly stated, but according to the rules designer Jeremy Crawford, he would let rogue thieves without the relevant spellcasting ability make ability check to activate the scroll. The rest of these are my own interpretation of the rules. By using the similar rule for staffs, then they get to roll d20 with 0 spellcasting ability modifier bonus to activate it, unless they have acquired spellcasting ability one way or another. Since the wording of the feature says, ignore class features, I would say that you don't even need to use the relevant spellcasting ability feature of the spell. A thief with wizard spellcasting ability should also be able to activate druid exclusive spell scrolls. If you disagree with my interpretation, feel free to comment below, because part of the fun of D&D is arguing about how the rules are interpreted. Quick reminder, you can't use magic items using bonus action granted by the Fast Hands feature. Level 14, Blind Sense. Rogues can hear and are aware of any hidden or invisible creatures within 10 feet. Level 15, Slippery Mind. The rogue gains proficiency in wisdom saving throws. Level 16, another ability score improvement. 17, the thief rogue gets Thief's Reflexes. They can take 2 turns within the first round of any combat. The first turn happens at normal initiative, and the second at the initiative minus 10. This feature can't be used if the rogue is surprised. Level 18, Elusive. While the rogue is not incapacitated, no attack roll on the rogue can have advantage. For example, if an invisible enemy attacks the rogue, that attack isn't made with advantage. Level 19, 6th and the last ability score modifier. Finally, at the maximum level of 20, rogues get the Stroke of Luck feature. They can turn a missed attack roll into a hit or a failed ability check into a d20 roll of 20. You can still add your bonus on top of it. These are separate functions. It does not mean that you can turn your attack into critical hits. Once you have used this feature, you can't use it again until you have finished a short or long rest. There you go, 20 levels of Rogue. As you can see, the Thief archetype does not give them much damage dealing features. They have to creatively use the Fast Hand feature to make the best of this class, so bring lots of caltrops and ball bearings, It's gonna be really fun for your DM. Thieves have mostly utility and exploration features, and the same for other archetypes. The Assassin has some powerful features that let them savage the enemies that are surprised or have rolled low initiatives. It is very situational. The rest of their features are also situational and works better in campaigns that let them plan over a longer period of time before events happen. Arcane Tricksters are fun. They are spellcasting rogues. While most of their spells come from the Enchantment and Illusion school, by picking the right spells, they can really enhance their survivability and utility. Personally, this is my favorite archetype for the rogue, and their spellcasting can work in combat, exploration, or even social situations. But everybody has their own preference. Rogues multi-class pretty well with the fighter. Some may want to start off as a fighter to pick up their armor, weapon proficiencies, and fighting style before spending the rest of their levels as rogue for building a more combat-oriented rogue. The wizard is a pretty popular class for arcane trickster rogues to multi-class into, so that they can get more spell slots and spell selections. Other than that, usually other classes want to dip a few levels into the rogue class to pick up their expertise feature to bolster their proficiency on certain skills. The rogues that I know often fall into the sneaky, rebellious anti-hero shtick, but due to their vulnerability and sneak attack feature needing an ally to be next to their enemies, it is a good idea for them to learn how to work together in a team. They will be more effective this way. A word of advice to rogue players out there: stop stealing your party members' stuff. It's very annoying and really doesn't help anyone, even yourself. Thanks for watching the D&D 5e Rogue Class Guide. If there's anything here that you don't understand, you can always rewatch the Learn How to Play D&D series, or ask in the comment section. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel and press the bell button for more videos like this. Before signing off, I would like to thank my patrons at Patreon for helping make this series possible. If you like my work and want to help the channel out, please consider becoming a patron. CJ over and out.